Kia ora and welcome back to the channel. I'm Alvi and today we are doing a video talking about page formatting. I briefly mentioned this in my last video, but I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about. I've got two different types of sketchbooks here, one spiral bound, one just standard formats. So I will be just going over 5 kind of formats when it comes to painting that is good to keep in mind when you are deciding how you want to present it. So the first one here is just a standard. You kind of take up the whole page. There's nothing fancy going on, just the full spread is covered. That's nice and easy to talk about. This one's quite nice. It's very in your face. You get to see the whole thing. You don't really, this is, as I said, standard. So not much more to say. The next one we'll be talking about, if I've got the page here. So this is what I'm calling swatching. So this is when you've got swatches of the paints you use on the same page as your painting. This can come in lots of different shapes. So I've got one in here that's just swatches. But then I've also got one in here that is like this. So it's got them down the bottom here with painting up here. So you can kind of put the swatches wherever you want on it, but as long as, when I think of this format, I think painting. Alrighty, so that's the second one. Now the third one, this one's a bit, it depends what you're painting, but it's something like this spread here, where you kind of shape what you paint. So this one is a literal shape, so you've got a shape around it. You could also say framing. So this one here, we've got a shape here, framing her here. Another, I don't know if I have an example in this book. You can see more swatching ideas, but I think it is good. This one here, so it's kind of framing what these swatches are, but I definitely think the shaped one, should have left the spread open. This is the better example of shaping, framing what you paint. And this one here, it really depends on what you paint as how effective it is. I recommend like masking tape or painting tape or washing tape for those sharp, beautiful edges. But here I've got like kind of a circle to try it out, to change it up a bit. It adds a bit of intrigue. And here the background framing the image is also a bit of interest added in. And if you consider this a frame up here, you can also use it to kind of go out of the frame, and I don't know, it just creates a bit of added intrigue, and that's kind of what I think of when I think of shaping and framing. Now, this next one only really works with the bound books, not really the spiral, because it is using a full spread. So you could use it in landscape form like this, or in portrait form like this, and you kind of just use both spreads to create something. And this is also a great example of bordering and shaping. But yeah, this one is really nice if you're doing it, wanting to belong something, create it a certain length long-wise or tall-wise. It gives you more room to play around with, and it's really nice to be able to open up a spread and you look at both sides, and it's the same picture. So this is really fun to play around with, and yeah, a personal favourite, but it is definitely a lot more work when it comes to painting. And yeah, only really works with a particular type of book. Now the last one is my favourite, and it's the one that this one. So it is basically creating like random shapes for different paintings on the same piece of paper. It works better with the bigger books. So this isn't quite A5, as you can see, but you wouldn't want it too much smaller, because then your paintings will be just tiny. But these are nice little pocket-sized paintings. They're quick paintings, and you can kind of I shape them out first. So I put the shapes down and then I pick what I want to paint. So you kind of use the shapes in your paintings. And double spreads of it are quite interesting. And it also means you can kind of paint a lot of things in a small sketchbook. So if it doesn't have that many pages, you can, do lots of little paintings and sketches. And so that's kind of what I think of as a kind of sectioned sketchbook format. And you get a lot of different shaped paintings compared to what you'd usually use. And a lot of different subject matter interacting with each other. You can make a cohesive spread, like the gouache spread I think is quite cohesive because it's all gouache paintings and using a similar colour palette. You can plan these things out. You can use masking tape to get very sharp edges and lines, or you could do what I did and just guesstimate. But overall, those are kind of just some other ideas and stuff when it comes to formatting what you paint. Sometimes it is hard to just figure out how you want to paint something, or you want to change it up from what you'd usually do. And it's nice to see what other people have to say and suggestions. So I hope this video is fun, interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.